All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to America Talks Live. I'm Steve Malzberg. I will be back in a little over an hour. I'll be back at 5 p.m. Eastern, so make sure you stick with us right up throughout the night here on Newsmax Television. Joining me now is the one, the only, John Gizzi with the hat. Of course, Newsmax TV's chief Washington correspondent and White House correspondent. And John, I sing this to you, the parody of I'm so dizzy, I'm so gizzy, my head is spinning. But it really is. I am so gizzy, my head is spinning. So please bring a little sanity. What can you tell us from our nation's capital? What do you think? What do you think the mood tells you? What do you think that the feel of the country tells you from there? What are you feeling?
I've been talking to people from all around the country, Steve, and I can tell you some records are going to be made in different areas in terms of turnout. But at the same time, regardless of who wins the presidency at the top, I would not bet the farm, but I'd bet many acres Republicans will keep the Senate and keep the House of Representatives, albeit with diminished numbers.
Why do you say that about the Senate? What leads you to say that about the Senate? I'm very interested.
All right, I've spent the day reviewing the last polls as well as the turnout in key states. Now I can say it. Illinois and Wisconsin with Senators Kirk and Johnson will go down. That's two Republican seats flipping to Democrat, bringing the total 52 to 48. On the other hand, Democrats will also probably hold the seat in Nevada of retiring Senator Harry Reid. But many of the Republicans thought vulnerable, from Senator Pat Toomey of Pennsylvania to the Indiana seat vacated by Dan Coates. There's been a surge in support for the Republicans at the end, and they appear to have the momentum. So my guess is, coupled with the reelection of Senator Ayotte in New Hampshire, as Republicans look strong for the down part of the ticket, the Senate will be 52-48 Republican, staying in the GOP's hands.
Well, that is very encouraging. From your lips to God's ears, in my opinion. So okay, and the House. But what do you think? You talk about records. How long a night do you think it's going to be on the presidential side?
Look, I point this out in Western democracies in Europe when I do European television as well as in the United States. There are no such things as landslides anymore when it comes to the presidency or national government. Voters are too polarized these days. This particular election is likely to be very close. You have two controversial candidates that many voters will not admit voting for in conversation for fear of starting an argument. So my guess is, with that great unknown factor, it's very hard to predict the outcome when polls show it a squeaker in the end.
What about the likelihood of this election, if it's very, very close and it hinges on one state or another, that it's not over because there are lawsuits? Now, we've already seen the Trump campaign lose round one in Nevada today. They claim that early voting went on 2 hours too late in some instances, and they wanted those votes set aside for now. A judge has said this afternoon no, but they're not done with that if they want to pursue it. And I'm sure there could be other instances in other states. Do you see that is a possible scenario down the road?
No, I don't, and let me tell you why. As a reporter who covered the Bush v. Gore dispute, beginning with Al Gore starting to go to his headquarters to concede to George W. Bush, and then rescinding his confession, and then going into the dangling chads and the divided race, no one wants the uncertainty that came in the 2000 election, and I might add, which hampered the incoming president. 4 years later, John Kerry lost the presidency by the electoral votes of one state, Ohio, which was not called until 4 in the morning. People thought he would assemble a battery of lawyers and contest it. To his credit, Senator Kerry, then Senator Kerry, conceded the race graciously to his old comrade from Yale, George W. Bush.
Yep. John Gizzi, always great to talk to you, sir. We'll speak to you again throughout the course of the night. Thank you very much, my friend.
I'm sure I'll speak to you when you want to prove me wrong on some of these predictions, Steve.
No,
let's see how the night progresses.
I don't want to prove you wrong. Thank you. John Gizzi, ladies and gentlemen. All right.